Hello, ladies. Today I'd like to share with you a lesson that I learned from an older woman many decades ago. She was a widow and she had grandchildren, and she told me how important it was when I was younger and had children at home, how important it was to dress up for the home. She said, first of all, it's going to put you in a mood, set the mood for your attitude for the day and for your day's work. She said you would approach your work a lot differently and you would feel more pleasant about some of the most unpleasant tasks. And because homemaking is often routine and you're doing the same things every day, uh, your appearance can change things because you could wear something different and you could style your hair differently and you could uh, have a fresh approach to your day. So it did set your mood. She also said you may not think that anyone will see you, but your children will see you. And even though they might not know the details of your appearance, uh, they are impressed by it, and they know that they are important enough for you to dress up for and to groom yourself well for. And then she also said, and you're giving dignity to your job, and that you glorify God in your appearance. And she quoted a scripture to me, which I'll include in the text on the blog, that you're supposed to glorify God in your appearance because you were bought with a price, and that God created you, and that you reflect His beautiful creation by your appearance. Now, so many times it was tempting for me just to wear the same thing every day, and because I wasn't going to go anywhere quote important, but she said you are somewhere important, and this is the most important time of your life, and to dress up and be an encouragement to your children, because they will emulate you and they will think that their appearance is very important. That's the first thing that people notice about you. It may be the only thing that you ever speak, and I say that in a metaphorical way. People will not be interested in what you believe or what you have to say, but your appearance tells them something about it. So it may be the only message you will ever be able to send. So clothing is very important. And we have, as older women now, I'm speaking to older women, but if you're a younger woman, I would really encourage you to do an experiment. Dress up, groom yourself, fix your hair, look pretty, as pretty as you can one day, and notice your mood and the mood of your children, and the mood of your family, and then the next day go back to being grungy, and then notice how many arguments you've run into, or how much stress there is around you in the home, quarreling or anything like that, or just mistakes that you might make. What I noticed when she told me these things, and when I started to adhere to them, was that I made fewer mistakes. There were fewer accidents. I dropped fewer things. I felt put together, so I was more organized when I cooked. I wasn't just, and I was more willing to be neat and tidy in my house during the day, and I accomplished my tasks a lot more efficiently. So the appearance is so important. And she quoted me a scripture, therefore glorify God in your appearance. And so my interest in sewing has always been to imitate the beautiful creation around me. And as I had said before, I'm a mood sewer. So I will see a field of bluebonnets and I'll think, oh, I need to make a dress to go with. And then get my picture taken and show this pattern and show how this was made. And I remember my mother-in-law and my mother always liked to wear something that matched whatever was in bloom around them. And we have rhododendrons here in all colors. And my husband's mother always liked to go up to the rhododendron park at a certain time of year when everything was in bloom, and she wore a color that matched one of her favorite colors of rhododendrons. And I have a lot of pictures of her uh, taken with a matching dress. And she didn't sew. She wasn't trying to be a model. She wasn't trying to be attention getting. She wanted a record of that dress with her, with the rhododendrons, and for her photo album because she thought it was pretty. And so today, when I see a beautiful sky, I think, oh, I think I have a piece of fabric like that. And so that's my interpretation of reflecting the beauty of the earth. This is all we have. We are living in a material world and we are dealing with material things, but we can put a spiritual note on it. We can say, I'm trying to glorify God in my appearance. But at home, to glorify God in your appearance will make such a difference, because after you dress yourself up, you may want to dress your home up. You may want to just polish things a little bit and make it a lovely place. The other thing that I remembered that I do want to tell you about is a memory I had of my husband when we moved to a place that wasn't very pretty. And he said, you know, I'm really sorry, but we're stuck here for a while. If anything I can do to make you happy here, let me know. If you want the color changed on the paint on the walls, we'll change it, because you are going to have to look at this place a lot more than I will. So it's not worth feeling anxious over. If you don't like the color of something, we'll change it. Uh, Whatever you can do, I will do for you. Whatever you want to be done, I will do for you within reason to make it more cheerful. And of course, being resourceful, I always tried to keep the costs down, um, and focused a lot on color, neatness, texture, and prettiness. And so, while my home is probably not as trendy as is current, um, the whole idea is not so much the style, but the mood that it puts you in. So the appearance that you have and the appearance of your home might be related in some ways. Now, there's another thing that I wanted to relate to you, and it was from the book of Philippians. And I will say that the reason that I thought of this was because when you start to get concerned about your appearance and the appearance of your home, you might start to get too anxious about it. And Philippians said, don't be worried or anxious about anything, but in everything, with prayer and supplication, make your requests known unto God. And I looked at that word everything the other day and thought, you know, if you have everything, if the word everything is there, what's missing? Nothing. So in everything, make your requests known to God. That means nothing is too trivial, nothing is too big, nothing is too unimportant. So things that are bothering you, even if it takes half a day of talking to God while you're walking alone in your house, it's important to make your requests known unto God. And I think that this applies to your homemaking, anything that's bothering you at home. As a matter of fact, I have heard women say that if there was one thing they wanted others to pray for them about, it would be to help them, that their housekeeping might be acceptable and that they might be able to feel that they had accomplished it, that they were doing a good job, that they were catching up on things, and or getting themselves out of a big mess. And so if you could remember that scripture in everything, don't be anxious for anything, but in everything, make your requests with prayer and supplication, make your requests known to God. And then the very next verse says, and the peace of God that passes all understanding. Um, so you will feel more peaceful if you will express your desires to God, your desires about your home, your desires about your life. Uh, and you'll find, I think you will find that you'll get fresh new ideas, that your mind will clear up from the foggy thinking, and you'll be able to see your way out of the cloud of disarray, confusion. And this is a very, very confusing time, very confusing world that we live in. And so it's so important to activate that scripture. Be anxious for nothing, but in everything with prayer and supplication make your requests known to God. And then it follows that peace will follow you, peace of mind. So I do want to do some more videos on how to be useful and relevant as you grow older, uh, so that you don't feel like you've been put aside, put on the shelf. Um, you know, I know the younger women like to socialize with each other because their children can play together. But it's so important to be multi-generational and to fellowship the older women too, to include them in your plans and in your lives and in your social things. But we will talk more about that, how you can be relevant to all generations around you, the older and the younger. And in the meantime, I hope that you will study that scripture. I'm trying to think which one it was. I think it was Philippians 4. It may have been Philippians chapter 4 or Philippians chapter 2. I will include it in at the end here. And until then, I hope that peace will be with you, and that you'll make your requests known unto God. Thanks for watching, and be sure and leave me a comment. Thank you. Bye.